to walk you through in much more detail now the blog automation strategy. I'm not going to waste your time with a bunch of intros or telling you to smash any buttons. So we'll just start with the trigger email. So basically, this is going to start the automation when you receive an email from one of your competitors that they've released a new blog. The only real caveat is that within that email, there needs to be a URL to the blog or the blog's content itself. So I'm in Zapier here. You can set it up in different platforms, but I'm going to show you here. It's going to be pretty similar across the various automation platforms. So first, you're going to want to click Gmail as the trigger, and you're going to click New Email Matching Search. Now, I've got a couple of our emails here as the account. You don't really got to worry about that. That will be your account, and you'll probably, well, not probably, you'll have to set it up here by linking your Gmail. Now, this is the main part of this trigger. You want to find words within that email that are going to be specific to those blog emails. You know, if you chose words like hello, every single email matching hello is going to run through this automation. So I just did a crude one here, sample co blog, but you know, whatever the blog email is that you're receiving from your competitor, just look for some unique text there and add it in here. Then you're going to want to test it. So essentially, once you have that email in your inbox, you can click this test and it's going to look for it. Now, I already tested, as you can see by this green check, but I've actually deleted the email now. So if I retested it, it would show up red. So I'm going to skip that. Okay, next step is formatting. A lot of the time, the URL isn't just going to be pasted in plain format. It's going to be behind a button or something like that. So formatting is going to help us extract that URL. So go into configure, extract URL, fairly straightforward, but there's a bunch of them down here. So that's the one you want. Now I did both the raw snippet and the body HTML here. Again, sometimes if you look at the raw snippet, it's sort of, I guess I can't see it here, but the raw snippet will be more so what you're going to see in the email, whereas the body HTML will be what's behind the email. I like to do both, better chance of actually catching that URL, but you should catch it with both of these added. Next, you're going to go to test. So with that same email still in your inbox, you're going to click test here, and it's going to, if it's running properly, extract the URL. Again, I've already done it here. I mean, this green check is probably going to eliminate when I test, but let's see. Edit. Okay, nope. Must still be in there. This is a little finicky, but you can see testblog.com was pulled. Final step is just putting that URL on a Google Sheet, which is going to be the trigger of the second branch of this automation. So connect your Google account, create a new spreadsheet row. It's just connected to my account there. This is going to associate to a specific spreadsheet and worksheet. And then you're going to put in this this section here, blog URL. So this is actually the column title in my spreadsheet. So it might look different here to you. But basically you're saying in the new spreadsheet row, we want to put the URL that we just grabbed from that formatting step. So, see that's empty. Click this, go with the formatting step, and put the output. And that's it for this branch. Go continue and then test. I'm not going to do it because it's going to populate on the Google Sheet, but I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, so as that runs, you can see there's 3 in a row here that are the same. That was from a test as well. So as this runs, a new spreadsheet row will be added here. Now I've just stricken them out once I know the blog has been actually completed, but it doesn't show up originally stricken out. So you'll just see a new row pop up here. And one quick other thing to show you is you don't have to start this automation by an email. You can just manually paste links once you have the second branch of this automation, which I'm about to show you, done. So, I would just copy this one, go over here, put it in a new spreadsheet row, and that would trigger the second part of our automation as well. But anyways, when you test that first step, you should see the URLs popping up here when you test. Okay, so starting the second branch of the automation, I mentioned that a new row in a Google Sheet is going to trigger it. You just saw where that is, but this is how it's set up. Again, you're going to link your Google Sheets. The event you want is new spreadsheet row, link your accounts. You're going to associate with a specific spreadsheet and the worksheet, then go over to test. So if you completed the first branch properly, a new spreadsheet row would be added. And when you click test, it's going to see that, yes, that has been added there. Next, you're going to select ChatGPT. You're going to link your account. You're going to need your API key to link the account, but if you just follow the prompts here, it's actually going to provide you a URL that takes you right to that spot of the OpenAI website. I'm not going to do it right now because I would essentially break this and have to rebuild it, but it should be set up like this. ChatGPT linked, send prompt, that's our action event, and then linking to your ChatGPT account. Now configure. I've been picking GPT 3.5 Turbo. I find that works by far the best. As they add new models, you can probably adjust that. But here's the meat and potatoes I told you about. So first I'm saying rewrite the blog on this URL. And this is the URL that we gathered from the original branch, but in this action here because it's the new spreadsheet row. So you click here, new spreadsheet row, click the one where the URL is. To be fully optimized for SEO and aligned with the following requirements. This is where you're going to fill in your requirements that, how you want the blog to look. So I said between this amount of words. I said, don't include my competitor's name. I said include a summary at the start, include heading tags for SEO. Basically, you're just going to add as much detail as you can here. This is brand relevancy, so that the blog output you get is as accurate and useful to your target readers as possible. This is going to take some refinement. You might get a little frustrated because it'll probably take 5 or 6 or maybe even more attempts of crafting this prompt, running the automation, and then reading the blog that has been produced and making sure that it follows the criteria you want. And if not, you'll have to do some tweaking in here. Sometimes if you've got commands buried at the bottom, it's less effective at picking them up. So I like to put my most important commands and requests at the top. Once you have that done, I don't really adjust much here. You can if you want. It's just kind of setting the parameters. But once you've done that, you're going to test. And essentially what you want to see here is that, let's scroll down. What you want to see here is that you are getting an output response that matches what you want. So I said, give me a meta description, give me a summary, and then here starts the blog. And that's really it. There is one more step I've added where that post is, or that blog is then posted to Slack. I spend most of my communication time throughout the day in Slack. So this just means that I don't got to open up different apps or anything to see it. It's always front and center for me. If you've done the first steps, this one's going to be fairly straightforward, but I'll walk through it as well. So pick Slack, send channel message. You can do send private message or whatever variation you want, but I like send to channel message the best. Link your account, pretty standard. And then you just have to associate the response from step 2 as the message text. So you go down here, response. There's several other options. I send it as a bot. It really doesn't matter whether you do it or not. Pick your channel up here, and a bunch of other settings that aren't super important, but you can take a look through them and decide if you want. Okay, and that's about it. You might still have a few more questions. I know that the first few times I was setting up Zaps, got a little frustrated. So feel free to send me a custom message if you're running into any issues. I can probably hop on and help you out with it. But this is the basic lay of the land of that automated blog strategy. And keep in mind that you can plug in other triggers different than just manually copying, pasting a link over, and different than it coming from an email if you would like, based on what your needs are. Okay, hopefully that helped.